Hey, hey, we've got the intro to Sweet Child of Mine. And our hand is going to be positioned at frets 12, 13, 14, and 15 with finger 1 on 12, 2 on 13, 3 on 14, and pinky on 15. Now, Guns N' Roses does the song one half step down. So they're doing the exact same thing that I'm about to discuss, but they're using 11, 12, 13, and 14. I moved it up a fret so that when we do the chords, we can do the open chords that I teach everyone right at the beginning. As we get better and we learn the bar chords, we can, it's called transpose, we can move the riff back a fret and do the exact same fingering. So basically the riff is the same thing for the first bunch of measures with the first note changing. And the first note where we start is with finger 1 on the D string. And we're basically going to just go. Now, if you notice at the end of the riff, I lay my third finger flat on these 3 strings at fret 14, so I can pick the G, the high E, and the G all in one motion. So we do that riff 2 times with our first finger on the D on the 12. Again. Then our next riff, we just change that first note and we start with the third finger now on the D string but on the 14. But then everything else is exact same. Pinky on the 15. And then we do that one again. 14. And then our third riff, we start with our first finger, but now we're on the G string on the 12. And then we go back up with our first finger back on the 12 on the D string. And this is the last one before the whole thing repeats. So now we got the double dot. So we go back to the beginning. So that means in essence we need to do the 12th fret on the D string riff now 4 times in a row because we did it 2 times at the end of the phrase. Now it repeats. So we got to start back over again. We do it 2 times up here. To the 14 on the D 2 times. To the G on the 12 2 times. Now we go to the second ending. So we don't do back to the 12 on the D. We do this new phrase, and it's notated on the music with a 2 in a circle. That's ending number 2. The first ending was a reprisal of the initial riff, and then we go back to the beginning. We do that initial riff again. Second riff on the 14, third riff on the 12 on the G. This time we go to ending number 2, where our first finger is planted on the 12 on the high E, and our third finger is planted on the 14 on the G. And we leave these 2 fingers in position, and we use our pinky to catch all the other notes. The 15 on the high E, the 15 or the 14 on the high E, and then the 15 on the B. And we're basically just hitting this note on the G string every other note. So we're going, oops. And it's all 8th notes until the last note of the whole intro. So we're going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Vibrato. She got smiles and it seemed into the chords. So again, remember the initial riff, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and all 8th notes through the whole thing. We have 2 alternate endings. Ending number 1 happens to be the same riff that we started on. Ending number 2, after we've done our repeat, finger 1 on the high E, finger 3 on the G, pinky getting 3 different notes, B string 15, E string 15, E string 14. If you were to play the riff without this note that's played every other time, it would sound like this. But we're going. One, two, three, four, down, down, up, up, down. There's your intro. Have fun.